Hi, this video is a brief introduction for the visualization of life expectancy dataset. In this visualization, we're using map visualization and data plots to see the life expectancy of each country and the factors affecting life expectancies. First, let's get an idea of the data. The data are collected from World Health Organization and United Nations website. There are 24 variables and 3,000 observations for more than 183 countries. The data for each country we have are the data between year 2000 and 2015. You can see it from here. To get a better idea of the data, we also have a data overview dashboard. This slider is an animation slider that it will play the data for each year, and the data will show from the plot underneath. And we also can select different variable from the panel here. For instance, if we select life expectancy, we can see the life expectancy, the frequency of life expectancy for each country. So we can see the numbers of countries that are expected to live for each years. And from year 2000 to 2015, we can see the life expectancies are in generally growing, especially when we look at the life expectancies for over 80 years old. The frequency are increasing. Another example, if we look at adult mortality, we can see that it is generally decreasing over the years. And if we look at the data summaries here, the medians are decreasing in generally every year. Same thing for infant death. If we look at the average infant death, we can see that it is decreasing almost each year from year 2000 to 2015. We also produce a heat map animation, and we can click play button and the map will change as the year pass by. And here, if we look, but here I want to stop and talk about each year. So at year 2000, we can see in general the North American area, Australia, South European, and part of the South America has darker color, which means they has higher life expectancies. But if we slide to year 2015, we can see that China, Russia, part of the North Africa has an increasing life expectancies, and some of the South America has decreasing life expectancies, and the majority of African area keeps the same over the 15 years. So here it comes to us a question: why some countries has higher life expectancies while other has lower? So we pick the top 3 countries has the highest life expectancies, which are Slovenia, Denmark, and Cyprus. And we pick the last 3 countries, which are Sierra Leone, Central African Republic, and Angola. We can see the top 3 countries have life expectancies of over 85 years old, while the last 3 has only around 50 years old. So there is a pretty large gap between them. The first thing we found that the top 3 countries are all developed countries, and the last 3 are all developing countries. And we also want to look at other variables. So we have a select panel here. We can see the plots of different variables. Let's first look at adult mortality. We can see that the top 3 countries has much lower adult mortality than the last 3. And if we look at the younger ages, the same thing happens. The top 3 countries even has 0 infant death rate compared to around 5 to 6% of the last 3 countries. And the thinness is also lower in the top 3 countries, which shows a higher life quality in the top 3. If we look at GDP, interestingly, we did not find a significant correlation between GDP and life expectancies of the countries. But when we look at the schooling, we can see the top 3 countries has much higher schooling rate compared to the last 3. And we think the reason behind that is because the higher level of education enhanced people's awareness of their quality of life and health. Beside the top 3 and last 3 countries, we're also interested in the countries that has large change in their life expectancies. We found the top 6 decreased countries and top 6 increased countries. So the top 6 decreasing countries are Libya, Paraguay, Romania, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Syrian Arab Republic, and Yemen. If we look at the adult mortality of these countries, we can see that there are huge fluctuations of adult mortality, and some countries also has, like Syrian, also has huge growth in adult mortality. And we think the reason behind that is the war going on from time to time between in these countries, and that caused the decrease of life expectancies. We can also see the top 6 countries that has a growth of their life expectancies, which are Botswana, Eritrea, Rwanda, Uganda, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. And we can see from the map here, all the 6 increasing countries are from Africa. And we think the reason behind that might be the improvement of environments or growing of economies, improving the living environments for Africa, which increases the life expectancies and decreases the adult mortality rate and infant death rate for these countries. We also created a country explorer. So the country explorer, the circles on this dashboard represent the life expectancy of each country. And we can also see the darker the color, the higher the life expectancies. And if we zoom in, we can find the data for each country. And we can click on the data, which shows the country name and some details of the country data. And the color of the circles will change as we change the year slider here, as well as the detailed data from when we click on the circles. And we can also search countries from this panel here. We can directly type the country that we're interested in. Let's say Canada. And we will generate a plot here showing the year and life expectancy of this country. Last, as I mentioned before, we have all our raw data on this Data Explorer page, and we can search a country for the detailed data of this country, and we can also choose the columns here so we can make an easier comparison of each column. That's pretty much it for this visualization. Thank you very much for watching.